Step by step, I take control.
Hello, hunters. It is time. I am back in the cave, and we are here to watch a whole bunch of new games that are coming out in May and figure out what we're going to be playing this month. It's looking wild. There's a whole bunch of reviews coming out for a bunch of different games, so we're going to be diving into that very shortly. Yeah, I just want to thank everyone who's still here. I was gone for several weeks. I had some family stuff come up. I appreciate everyone still supporting the channel and being a part of the Crimson Desert push. Like, we had so much fun playing Crimson Desert. Honestly, I'm like sad to not be playing it anymore. Sorry, the music's a little bit loud. Let's turn it down. And I just got back into it. And I'm going to crank out an Unka guide. I'm going to crank out a Damien guide. Those are still on the path, but we're going to crank those out shortly. And then moving from there, I don't know. We got some games we got to go over and figure out what is the best thing to cover next. But what's up, Hash? How we doing? How are you doing? How's your streams going? And how's your Crimson Desert playthrough going? And then Kesar, hey, welcome back. Thanks for always being a huge supporter. But I'm doing all right. How are you guys? How far are you guys in? Have you guys beaten the game? How's Crimson Desert feeling nowadays? I just got in. I saw that they patched the way that the gray mains work. For you can have all of the reputation actually be able to do the contribution. And you can have like unlimited gray mains. I just reset up all of my missions. I have like 500 plus gray mains out. It's crazy. We can do every mission in the game, no problem, which is pretty cool. And for anyone who isn't playing Crimson Desert, which I imagine most of you are, you can set up a giant camp of your units, and it's just awesome. Super, super awesome. But yeah, anyways, today we got several games we're going to be covering. We're going to be going into specifically, going to cover Lego Batman. I don't know why I'm on Lego Batman first, but yeah, we'll do that one. We're going to be looking at Directive 8020. All right, I love space games growing up. I know it's a little off-brand on this channel as it being an action RPG, but that's one that I was thinking maybe there's a opportunity for us here because there isn't many people covering it, but maybe it's just not good. I saw that someone said it left you underwhelmed, so we'll check out both of these reviews, seeing what people are saying about it there. Then we've got Subnautica 2, and so Directive comes out, I think it's May 10th, May 11th or something, so that's coming pretty quickly, or maybe it's May 12th. I think that's actually what it was. But then we have Subnautica 2, which is going to be coming out May 15th or 14th. I don't remember. We'll check that out. It's pretty crazy because it's such a big game. Subnautica 1 made some huge impacts that I think we could see some people going pretty crazy over this. So that's what I'm kind of hopeful for. I want to get on that. I want to ride that wave, and I love the underwater stuff. I actually didn't play Subnautica 1, but I have my advanced certification in scuba diving, so I'm really excited to see what kind of cool creatures we'll see. I wanted to explore unknown worlds. Everything about this sounds cool, and now that it's been revamped, it's got multiplayer. If you guys are playing Subnautica 2, please let me know, because I'd love to play with you guys. Oh, I'm not even showing it, but here, let me show you guys what I'm working on there. And so I'd love to play with you guys, but yeah, we'll see what's happening there. But it's kind of crazy. It's such a big game that's actually pushing other games out of the way. We got Outbound originally launching, I think they were May 14th, yeah, and then Subnautica was May 15th. So now they're going to launch a few days earlier because they don't want to get just totally destroyed. This is more of a casual sandbox game. I actually got to play this a little bit early, did early access for that as well, and it was a fun, nice little game for survival, but like the most casual survival. If this is like your very first survival game, might be a fun one, or if you're just playing with like a non-gamer, could be a super fun one. I did find that it got a little bit slow for me, so I couldn't keep playing it, but yeah, we'll see. But Hash, you're doing well, busy with life, slow with playing, but taking my time, and that's my style. Honestly, like today I just figured out, because I'm doing the Unka guide, that there's this awesome Warhammer that you find in Payloon, but you have to like go through all the quests and do some commissions and all that stuff. I haven't even touched any of those. Like Payloon, I barely scraped the surface, and it's like there's still so much to see in that game, and because it was such a race to get content out and be relevant, I had to skip a whole bunch, and honestly, I'm really sad. It like makes me sad thinking about how much I probably missed because I'm trying to push to late game, find the bigger mechanics so that I can cover that and hopefully give some value, even though I got access to it late. And then obviously having 2.5 weeks off because family kind of hurt too. So, But that's awesome. I'm happy you're still enjoying it. KSR still loving it. Over 300 hours, and you haven't finished the main storyline. That's wild. See, that's what I wish I was doing. That's awesome. I know you did a restart too, so it's probably feeling really cool just to go back through and feel it all. I was really thinking of doing a challenge run of broom only. Okay, that was the one that I wanted to do next, but I was just like thinking once the Subnautica got released, I was like, I can't do that. Like, I have to cover Subnautica too. It's a big game. It's going to have some, hopefully, really, really good stuff coming in. So I'm definitely going to be covering that. But Ghost, how we doing? Can't wait to play Lego Batman. Yeah, we got Lego Batman here. I loved playing the Lego games growing up, and I haven't played one in so long. And my partner loves them. She loves breaking stuff. So I think if we get Lego Batman, we're going to play one together, and we're going to have a lot of fun. I think this one's doing pretty good. There's some guides or some reviews and tips and tricks coming out literally 7 hours ago. So this is coming around pretty soon. I think it's May 22nd or something that this is coming out. So a little bit later in May, but it's coming around pretty quick. So that's pretty interesting. But May 14th for Subnautica. Okay. That's good to know. So I messed that up. Not May 15th. Oh, that kind of sucks. So I actually got invited to a YouTube like in-person event in Manchester. And so I'm going to be going to that. I think that's May 14th. So that's going to hurt my initial launch time. Dang it. All right, we'll see. But some good games. Subnautica looks great and kind of scary. It does. In this trailer, when we watch this trailer, it is pretty brutal. Like, all these guys are getting picked off by these sea creatures. It looks pretty scary. I'm really, really interested in what kind of monsters we are. And I didn't play the first one. I'm going to be downloading that, and I'm going to be playing it probably next week. I don't know. Is Subnautica 1 multiplayer? Does anyone have Subnautica 1? I'd love to play with you guys. Like, let's rally. I want to learn everything I can before the game launches. But yeah, bro, still so much to see. Only 40 hours in. Hope you get to play more and chill. Thanks, Hash. Yeah, we'll see. But KSR, the restart is even better than the first playthrough. That is awesome to hear. I'm sure there's so much that we missed, especially just trying to rush through. And because we already watched the influencers do those first 4 hours, I know that I was like, okay, this whole first area I'm going to skip over because it's already been kind of really discovered by them. I'm going to push as far in as I can. And I'm sure there's some cool stuff that we just didn't see at all. That's pretty cool. But yeah, in terms of Crimson Desert, there's some funny videos. If you haven't watched the Honest game trailers, that one's pretty funny. I thought that was cool. I haven't watched the Spiff and Brit, but he's usually got some good content. Got 450,000 views here. Like, this guy knows how to do content. It's crazy what he does. Obviously, he has like 4K, or 4 million, subscribers. So, he's still doing pretty good, but that just released. Those are the two big ones I've seen. And then really, we haven't seen anything big for 7 days. At least from what I would say is like actual content, like updates around gameplay and stuff. We have another one from Open World Games, just doing more opinion pieces and stuff. But I think really the only big stuff is going to be for opinion pieces, and for me being smaller, I think I have to just start looking for the next game. So that's kind of what we're thinking. But yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking. So let's jump into the first one, which is Directive 8020. There might be a niche here for us to pop into. So we're going to lower the music playlist there, and we're going to turn on that, and we're going to turn this on. So, oh, and actually, first, let's watch the trailer of what Directive 8020 is first.
Look.
Is there anyone who's interested in Directive 8020? Like, it looks kind of like
Cooper will seal the bulkheads behind you as you move.
a storyline-based thriller adventure kind of game.
Oh, damn it.
Subsection 6 clear. Sealing now.
I'm moving on.
Young! Don't do it! Young! Come back!
Looks like some scary stuff in there. I love like Alien series. Like, growing up as a kid, that was like my #1 horror movie. And then
Your move, right?
there was a lot of other things that I watched. I like horror movies.
King to C1.
Interstellar. And a lot of those just space
You know, I'm
movies in
trying
general.
so hard not to fall over that I feel like I actually might fall over.
Please, don't do that. But don't even say that.
I haven't actually watched any of the gameplay.
Still thinking it.
It does seem a little bit slow. I saw the story trailer and it looked really nice, but that was about it that I saw there. Yeah, that'd be an oh shit moment.
What a mess.
Giant punch in the hole.
Statement of the year.
What is that?
Coolant, maybe?
Coolant, maybe. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna skip along because I just want to see what it kind of feels like. Wait, what were we hiding from? Can we see what we were hiding from? Oh, it's enemies. It's like a holograph. I don't know. I don't know. The graphics are not appealing to me right now. Maybe that's... Is this not at max? Oh, it's only at 720. Maybe it would be better at 4K.
My mum is dead. Everyone is dead.
Okay, definitely a lot of stealth in here. Yikes. Okay, that's always a scary moment to be flying in space with thrusters. I don't know. What else we got? Do we not fight at all? It's just us hiding and scurrying around? Approach or run? Probably want to run. Okay, but so there's decisions. We get a little bit of player agency. Or will this just be anytime you make a wrong decision, you die? That is a big buildup. Ooh. Bad idea.
Sims!
We don't know what he is.
You've never heard of this game?
And
Yeah.
we'll know for sure.
This is my ship.
Not yet. It's not my time. Stafford.
Okay, so we do get a gun, but it looks like we're not actually aiming it or anything. Oh, it's him. So they can morph into people. Oh, that's a bad day for both of them. Okay, it definitely looks double A. There's no chance, right? Like I'm actually not even gonna watch anymore because it's too close to Subnautica. There's no reason. You're not ready for directive. I'll watch the first 30
In
seconds of
a
this.
year that's filled with massive sequels, established franchises, and big budget spectacles all fighting for the consumer's attention, Supermassive's upcoming Directive 8020 stands out in more ways than one. It isn't trying to overwhelm players with scale or endless systems, nor is it positioning itself as the next massive open-world obsession. Instead,
We know what that is, right? We know that Crimson Desert has that on lock.
it leans into something far more focused and something that we know the developer excels at, creating a compelling loop of tension, consequence, and player-driven storytelling. In
Okay.
a landscape where many games compete on a number of marketing bullet points, that sense of clarity could end up being its biggest strength. Directive 8020
Yeah, I'm seeing this as like another game that's good for non-players who just want to like play a story. That could be something good for them. It looks like Detroit becomes human style. Yeah. Yeah, Kesar?
doesn't immediately present itself as the biggest game of 2026, or even a notable release. But the more that you examine what it's trying to achieve, the clearer it becomes that it has potential to dominate conversation in a completely different way. A lot of that potential starts from its narrative foundation, which appears to be built around themes of isolation, uncertainty, and human fragility under pressure. Set in a high-stakes sci-fi scenario, Directive 8020 places players in a situation where survival is never guaranteed, and where the biggest threat isn't always obvious. What makes this setup especially compelling is how much emphasis it places on player choice. It's not surprising for anyone familiar with supermassive games, but this is a story that adapts and reacts, allowing decisions to shape the trajectory of events in meaningful ways. Characters aren't just part of the narrative, but they are variables within it. Relationships can evolve, fracture, or collapse entirely depending on how situations are handled, and that level of reactivity transforms the story into something deeply personal. That personal nature is what gives Directive 8020 an edge. In many narrative-driven
I wonder how many different endings there are, and like, how does it affect the game? I'm probably going to get to that right now, but that's what I'm really interested for.
games, the element of choice exists, but it often feels limited to small variations that ultimately lead to the same outcome. But with this game, the scope is much broader, since the decisions carry weight, not just in terms of immediate consequences, but also in how they ripple across the entire experience. A moment of hesitation, a risky call, or even a seemingly minor interaction could have long-term effects that reshape the story in unexpected ways. That unpredictability is crucial because it ensures that players remain engaged on a deeper level. You're not just progressing through a story, but you're actively responsible for shaping it while playing that game. The game's approach to mechanics reinforces that philosophy, and that's not something that most developers would dare to do in today's day and age. Directive 8020 doesn't appear to rely heavily on traditional combat systems or power fantasies. Instead, it seems to prioritize decision-making under pressure. Moments of danger aren't simply about reacting quickly or executing precise inputs, but those constraints force you to make judgments. What do you do in this crisis? Who do you trust? What risks are worth taking and which ones could cost you everything? Even if there are action-oriented sequences, they seem designed to support the overall tension rather than define it. There's no fail state. One wrong decision and you could have to stay and bear the consequences. And that shift in focus makes a significant...
Did they not play it? They don't have any new footage from what we were already seeing from that gameplay trailer. I wonder. But okay, either way, it's cool, but not what we're going to be covering. Nope, not quite. Okay, moving on. Nope. Subnautica 2, baby. All right, we're going to be watching this one all the way through, maybe even a couple times. I'm super excited for this. Get that quality up, please. Ghost, are you gonna play Subnautica? What's your plans? Just a bad day. Like, what is this item? Is there any vets here of Subnautica? Like, what kind of item is it? That seems really cool to find something like that. And I do like mining in these kind of games as well. Very lucky. This scene really reminds me of Star Wars Episode 1. There's always a bigger fish. And I think this is all new, right? Like in Subnautica 1, they did not have any creatures on the planet's surface, right? It was all underwater. I don't know, to be honest, though. That would hurt. That would really hurt. And this has like some Avatar theme too, like Blue People Avatar. Really wondering what that's gonna be like. It is May 14th, yeah. Shoot. Shoot, 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 shoot. Shoot. Well, that's what we're going to be doing. They also shared on the Discord, on their Discord, what their PC requirement's going to be. And it's looking pretty okay. 1660 for the minimum. And then a 3070 for recommended, which is right where I am. So looks like we'll be able to play it okay. But man, I need a new PC. I need a new PC. It needs to happen because these games are getting way too they're starting to scale in hardware requirements, especially Blood of the Dawnwalker. We'll go over this later today, but oh my gosh, they have the minimum at 3060, 3070 or something. It's going to be really crazy to see how that plays out. Yeah, I'm really not sure there. But let's see what other videos we got for Subnautica. Because I haven't watched any of this stuff.
Expedited
Need to
deployment
get
agreement.
caught up.
Category 3, internal only.
I played 0, been waiting for sub 2. Can't wait for May 14th. Yes. Okay. Ghost, do you want to play together? Like, let's play. Let's play together. Hash, thoughts so far? Oh, on Subnautica 2, the trailer that we just saw, I'm super excited. Like, it looks so cool. And it looks like it's got more action because, like, that was the thing with Subnautica 1. It always felt like it was just a casual exploration of the water. I didn't know that there was giant leviathans in it. That's why I never played it. But I guess it's looking pretty crazy. Oh, you're talking about Blood of the Dawnwalker, Hash. Yes, the devs are smoking. I don't know. Yeah, I think it looks awesome. I think it looks really good. I'm so excited for this. The 3 different tech trees are pretty cool. I think the narrative agency we're going to have in that is going to be awesome. The devs were like, I don't know if you actually watched the full live stream where they actually did like the devs walking through the forest. I thought that was a little bit silly, but kind of cool to see the devs actually talk about their game in a different way. And it was really cinematic. Like, I don't know if that was them themselves running that, but they could do like a documentary because they filmed so well, or if they've paid someone to do it. I don't know. It was pretty cool. We'll definitely go over that later.
Don't sue me, Altera.
What's this?
This point, I've been covering Subnautica from lore through Let's Plays to a ton of mods for Subnautica, and just been having a lot of fun with the game and the community. When I started with the lore videos, it was just kind of a fun idea because I wanted to explore the world. I did it away when I was watching videos of people play it, I thought, it's cool, but this cannot be as spooky as everybody's making it out to be. And then I launched
Yeah.
the game. I jumped out of the life pod or into the ocean, and it is terrifying. Like, right away, some of that, you know, subconscious fear just kicks in, and I was like, wow, okay, now I see what everybody's talking about. But at this
Okay, I didn't know there was so much fear in this game. I'm really excited for this. I don't know. I definitely want to check it out. Both actually look good. Dawn Walker's requirements are the only problem. Yeah, the Dawn Walker requirements are crazy. Like, actually concerning. I don't see many players playing that. Now, they said in the live stream that it was only the full resolution, no upscaling. So maybe once they say, oh, you could, use NVIDIA upscaling, maybe a lower one comes in, but lower ones don't have great upscaling to begin with. So I'm concerned. I'm very concerned.
At the same time, I remember...
Yes, love the showcase. Think one of the story writers was a narrator. Yeah. Or maybe it was the community lady. What's her name? Demonica, I think is her name.
that feeling
She was like the first lady in the video.
Like, how has nobody like done this before? It's so cool to just be able to swim rather than walk or fly for the most of the game. When you approach the murky water and you can't see anything.
Oh, also, Ghost. Should I just jump into Zero? How much is Zero going for? Maybe I'll just play Subnautica Zero instead. I'm sure that it has more updated systems that'll be more relevant for Subnautica 2, right? I know that they're building it on a whole new engine, right? So it's going to be quite different, but yeah, I wonder.
And then you hear that first distant roar, which is just like so menacing compared to everything you've heard to that point. And then, you think to yourself, well, everything so far has been pretty okay, so surely this can't be that bad. And then the Reaper emerges from like the murky water, and you just like have to call your cardiologist right after. I think that is like prime Subnautica right there, and it's so memorable. I don't think I'll ever forget that. And while obviously the survival and crafting mechanics are there, I think many people severely underestimate how much difference the navigation and the world setting makes in the experience of the game.
My name's Kale. I work on the Subnautica Wiki. What does my role involve with being a staff member of the Subnautica Wiki? It would include...
It's kind of cool that they just have all of their community members actually participating in this marketing video. That's pretty cool.
Looking for vandalism on pages and reverting it. Cleaning up the specific language used on articles and making it easier for people to understand. People who aren't as sci-fi inclined or technically inclined. The way I first discovered Subnautica was through YouTube videos of the early access of Subnautica, through YouTubers like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. I first played Subnautica in 2019, well after the game had come out of early access. And it was an amazing kind of feeling to jump into a world full of water, where the main goal was to be underwater for pretty much the most of the game. I would also try and find places to improve on the content as much as possible to make it readable on mobile, desktop, iPad, to make it easily accessible, to try and make it easier to load for slower and older devices, and generally just try to make a good experience for people to look up information for their favorite video games. It's not the game's fault if people can't easily find information that's laid out for them. It's just if you're not willing to look for it, or you just don't know where to look for it, you'll miss stuff. And I don't like people missing out on information from games.
It's not necessarily the game's fault that you can't find stuff. Like, that's either game driven or it is the game's fault, I would say. Because they're either trying to make it difficult for you to find it, or they implemented it poorly.
And missing out on the experience. Because then you'll go watch a video 10 years later and you're like, oh, I didn't know.
Or you're bad at the game.
That was a thing. Oh, I missed out on that. It's better to experience it around the same time rather than finding out later that it was a thing. I think wikis really do put a lot of focus on documenting stuff that people don't think about, stuff that really needs more. And Subnautica Zero are not simple games to just finish. You know, there's more to the game than just going to places. It's not just a simple run in, do this, and run out. What's the most surprising piece of lore I learned about Subnautica? Am I most excited about creating for Subnautica 2? I would definitely love to write pages about the characters we play and play alongside with in multiplayer. And especially the planet we're on, the cicada ship, more in depth about what it was, what its mission was, and what it was, I guess, constructed with and what technology it had. I think that would be amazing for first-time players to get a rundown on some information before they hop into the game.
I want to say that this has been an absolute joy to be a part of this community. I want to thank every single person out there who is playing the game. I want to give a massive shout out to the Unknown Worlds development team. As a game developer myself, I understand.
Okay. What else? Dive into the legacy. So this is like all of... What is this one about? Okay, so this is the mods scene. Yeah, and Subnautica is like all about the mod scene, right? Like they've got a huge modding server that's just all about it, right? Okay, they're getting the feels with that one. Okay, I want gameplay. I want to learn. I never played the first game. Below Zero has some interactions with 2 people. I got Below Zero for free, but I would play the first one. That one looks better to you. Play the one that looks better to you. Okay, good to know. And so you could play with 2 players in Zero? Okay, so now they're going up to 4, so this is pretty big jump. Normally you're just playing by yourself.
Seeing it come to fruition, been working on this from a crazy idea for years, and see it slowly evolve and turn into this system that players can really customize the output, and everybody's base looks wildly different.
What we're doing is kind of novel. We're using some techniques that haven't been used in games in this way before.
I think the system as a whole is pretty challenging.
I worked from day one on this system, so we've been working on it about 3 years. We have redesigned the system from the ground up.
Sometimes the constraints aren't known to the concept artist, and so therefore we have to adapt a lot of the shapes and visual language when we bring it over from concept to our entire base building system itself.
The most challenging thing that we worked on was actually the system itself. This is a brand new system. I don't think we've seen anything like this in any other survival game.
With bases, everything's broken up into unique tiles, and the way that we do that, has to have coordination with adjacent tiles.
Figuring out a good way to let designers and artists make the assets that will turn into this pretty rule-heavy, like logic-heavy system to make all of these different shapes.
We have a few core fundamentals that we're striving for.
There was a survival game. I don't know if any of you guys played Dual Universe. One of my favorite little betas I got to play. I think they're shut down now. Maybe they're still there, but they had an awesome, aerospace, almost grade system of being able to create ships and bases, and it was all physics driven. If you messed up, you could not fly, you'd crash it. It was really a fun game to build and learn survival stuff and some physics. It was really quite cool, and it seems like this is going even way deeper with it.
We want to maintain player expression and freedom in the base building system.
We love base building in Subnautica 1 and Below Zero. We kind of wanted to keep that spirit, but allow players to express themselves even more.
I think the main thing is our new procedural system, where basically you don't have to be constrained to a specific shape.
We have moved away from fixed pieces for the most part, and we have a much more sculptural, expressive system.
I think one of the things that I'm most excited about is our window.
like when it comes to bases, they've got to be able to be built easily by people who are not into that kind of thing. Because if it's simple and you can build it nice and quick, then it'll be really good for a lot of players. And then as long as there's a complexity on top of that, I think that's where this will hopefully have some legs.
With the procedural system, basically, instead of having just like these big blocks that you can put the windows on, you can make windows in whatever shape you want.
I think by far my favorite base pieces to work on were probably the corridors. Something is very unique about the way that you model something on a constant radius, and it just made it such a challenge to get all the different pieces of glass that we wanted and all the customization that we wanted inside of like each piece of the corridor.
In the future, players will be able to paint their base, change different colors, different cosmetic options inside, change the color of lights, toggle lights on and off.
Some of the base pieces that I am excited to work on in the future, the fully round rooms. I think that one's going to be great. I think it's going to be a nice hit back to Subnautica 1.
I'm really excited just to see what you guys can do. We've built something pretty flexible that will let players really run wild with their imagination. Even in the first 2 games, you already came up with such amazing ideas and concepts, and I think like the whole team is super excited to see what you guys can do. In our minds, this is a collaboration between us and the players.
What I'm most stoked for is the fact that you can join in the same environment with your friends and that you can create cool, cozy rooms for each other and really share that creativity between the different friends that you're going to have. Let's just hope no friend comes and steals all your resources. So good luck on that.
Okay. Base building looks pretty badass, I gotta say. That's looking exciting. Okay, what else we got? Below Zero Mobile? Gross. Who plays mobile? Okay, let's see what the what the multiplayer is gonna be like.
Players really latched onto isolation, and that became so essential to Subnautica. Now with Subnautica 2, with a fresh start, new engine, we thought to ourselves like, okay, this is the moment where we can still make a game that can deliver on isolation for people that want that, but we can also have multiplayer.
One of the most requested features of Subnautica is multiplayer.
When you want to build a truly immersive, good multiplayer experience for the players, is to build it from the ground up. Our very first internal demos that we did after a few weeks of development were multiplayer, and every single feature that we made since then has been multiplayer capable.
The important distinction there is that any part of the game isn't going to require cooperative play. But if I want to come along and bring a friend, they can totally participate with me in every moment along the way. We never wanted to encroach on someone's game that just is like, I want to play solo. We never wanted to have the moment where you had to pull the switches in tandem. That's never the way we want it to be. Optional co-op start to finish.
Subnautica 2 is completely playable on portable gaming machines and handheld devices. We have a large team that's dedicated to optimizing performance, and we're taking it extremely seriously. Our development philosophy has always been that the game should be playable anywhere with anybody. I'm playing it every night on my Steam Deck before I go to bed, and it's a great experience. It's just a fantastic device to be able to play these games.
Does anyone have a Steam Deck? I think I want to get one.
Multiplayer game does bring a new set of challenges in terms of technical animation. There is more emphasis on both the first-person look of the game and the third-person.
We have omnidirectional movement with pretty free camera. If you're looking up and going backwards, the feet are in your view, but if all of a sudden you want to go forward and downwards, that body has to get out the way.
For our tools, we use a control rig that encompasses both third-person and first-person perspectives.
Say we're swimming, so the hands can be this shallow of a motion, whereas in third person, you want to get that full range of motion. It's more work, but it also informs more.
That's really cool.
The most fun thing I worked on for co-op was the dive elevator.
The dive elevator just adds a lot to co-op in general. I realized that it would be really cool to be able to both go with friends on it, but also to be able to attach stuff to it. So as we started developing the prototype, we realized that that would make it even more meaningful, be able to load it up and then shoot it down to depths and then come back up with all the stuff you collected down there.
I just see that and I think my ears would explode one way or another.
We decided to go for a system where it would be easy as possible for.
They went insanely hard in this game. Wow. Yeah, it's looking like it. This is really cool.
People to join each other in their games.
You can either convert a single player game to multiplayer and continue from your single player game, or you can start a new multiplayer game. You can invite your friends via your normal platform friends list, or we have our own friends list where you can invite your cross-platform friends.
It's really simple to jump into games with your friends. It's really simple to continue games with your friends or let them continue the game and for you to pick it up later.
I think we managed to create a very seamless and easy experience that I hope the players are going to enjoy.
Co-op is a really fun new thing that we can explore.
I just enjoy seeing how different types of gameplay it opens up for.
You can team up and split off and gather resources like, oh, I found this, help me gather, I don't have enough inventory, help me over here.
I love messing with my friends, giving out responsibilities. I don't like to scan things, so I'm very happy that someone else will scan all the stuff for me in Subnautica 2. I think it's just really fun to find ways to break out work and just explore, and also to be scared together.
Play one run completely solo and isolated and say, that was great. Now I can't wait to do it again with my friends. And that just seemed like a really logical fit for Subnautica 2.
Man, I gotta get into this game. Okay, what else we got? Crafting the tadpole. I'm guessing that's our ship underwater? Yeah, it is. Okay.
I'm Corey Strader, and I am the visual development lead.
My name is Per Perez, and I'm a gameplay designer with a specialization in 3C.
Hi, my name is Andy. I'm a gameplay programmer.
I'm Ben Henry, and I'm a 3D artist.
I'm Anthony Gallegos. I'm the design lead on Subnautica 2.
Does anyone know the legal stuff that was going on with Subnautica 2? Like, I heard that there's a whole bunch of drama. I'd like to hear the tea.
The Tadpole is a clear controllable vehicle.
Once we had that name, we were able to kind of drill down and try to capture the essence of that in the final design.
We wanted to figure out what we liked the most about the Seamoth, but we didn't want to just deliver the Seamoth again.
It's such a beloved vehicle from the original game.
They wanted a small vehicle that would be their personal transport, their sort of first safety out of the water, but we wanted to make sure that it wasn't so big that it would compete with the larger vehicles that we made.
I think we were pretty successful with finding something that feels fresh for Subnautica 2.
I think it looks cool. It looks really cool. I like the way it changes forms and stuff.
Inevitably, with most concepts, you do have to end up changing quite a bit.
We pursued a lot of different versions before we ended up settling on something that had that sort of glass forward cockpit with the huge amount of glass forward in front of the player that it actually added a bit more vulnerability feeling.
What's key there is maintaining really clean UVs and textures. The oxygen ports that you'll see on the side of the tadpole. Invented some shapes and tried to make it feel right and played around with the animations of it.
Just love the overall aesthetic of it. It's cute, it's kind of toy-like, a zippy, fun little vehicle.
There needed to be that moment that the player went from swimming around and feeling really vulnerable to moving suddenly much faster and feeling like that first sense of ownership over a vehicle. The first time you get into a Seamoth and it tells you like, welcome aboard, Captain, and that sort of like high-pitched voice, feeling that sense that this is my ship. And so I think we kind of want to maintain that with the tadpole as well.
Oh yeah, that's pretty interesting. Hash, they beat their publisher in a lawsuit. Publisher Krafton didn't want to pay the devs out $200 million Dollar. Oh, I remember this now. Yes. For finishing the game early last year. Yeah, I saw that. Ah. Yeah, it's crazy. Ooh. But what does that mean for like the future of Subnautica 3, you know? Like even if this game pops off, like they're going to separate from Crafton, and then there's going to be a whole new dev team for Subnautica 3.
On the movement code upgrade logic, we used a custom movement controller to get the feeling.
And also, wasn't that only for like leadership, the 200 mil? I thought that was just for like the CEO and some founders of the development team.
Rights to make it actually be feeling like an
Maybe I'm wrong.
underwater submersible.
What I wanted to do was bring to life sort of the legacy of the Seamoth into a more modern graphics age. What we did uniquely is that we used Nanite in Unreal Engine 5, and so we have a lot more polygons to play with. I wanted to give the player the most customization to really make it their own.
Very interesting. Yeah, very, very interesting.
We had this idea of modularity very early on, that the tadpole could sort of evolve into other forms.
Its modularity is going to be a really cool feature.
What's really exciting about that is it opens up the box for us to do a whole lot more of explorations and perhaps larger upgrades.
We've shown the wings, and that's like one of several chassis that we're working on.
The chassis and the modularity will help it so that the player doesn't have to go into one vehicle and switch to another one for specific use cases in the world, and they can immediately detach the chassis and detach another one.
Oh,
not really have to leave the
that's
cockpit
cool.
Fans from the old Subnautica will like that the base tadpole feels very familiar to the Seamoth.
Players will be most excited to not only have the experience of the Seamoth, but also to bring their friends along for the ride. And I think this is going to have the experience.
But why do they keep like blurring out the faces of these characters? Why do they do that? I wonder.
Of the Seamoth, but also to bring their friends along for the ride. And I think this is going to create a lot of new gameplay and a lot of new moments.
The core thing that we want to deliver is the fantasy of...
I need to find some hardcore players that are going to grind this out with me. I need a crew. I need a crew.
All the other vehicles that players can think of that thing could become over time.
I think with the chassis system, I'm really excited what the community may come up with as other chassis that can plug into the tadpole.
Just like in nature, a tadpole doesn't just stay a tadpole. A tadpole often grows and turns into other things.
A tadpole evolves, yeah. That's such a good way for them to call it. Like, that's a great name. Yep, they killed it. They killed it. That's exciting. Cannot wait to build my tadpole. Okay, what else? Any other develop blogs we can go into? I'm like catching up like stuff that people have been digesting for years, probably. Building unknown worlds. I don't know if we need to see that. Ooh, gameplay reveal. All right, here we go. Let's see this one.
You will sleep through 14 years of flight to your
Hash, you're down? Yes, brother. Let's do it. Let's do it.
new home on Caesura. We encourage you to nurture your dreams. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. When you wake up, your new life begins.
Okay, so we've seen the base building. But what is the main purpose? Is it just scanning all life forms? That's the problem I have with survival games. Like, I like playing them and getting into them, building and stuff. But like, once I feel like I understand I've built one of everything, then I'm like, okay, I'm kind of done. But like, is the point to scan everything and then like you record everything? I don't know. I'm assuming there's no linear storyline with it, right? Oh, that'd be scary. That would have been really scary. Oh my god, look at how big that thing is. Nope. Nope. Okay. So we're hyped for Subnautica 2. It's looking pretty good. It's crazy that they announced the thing like 2 weeks before. That's really absurd. Ghost, I don't normally play with other people, but I'd be down. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Like, when is it launch again? Let's find that exact time. We need to be online together in the Discord, ready to grind. When does it come out? It comes out. I know they released. There it is. Let's open this in the browser. So here's when it goes live everywhere. Where are you guys located? Are you guys located? I think both in the U.S., right? Which is fine. I can stay up all night long. So it goes live 4 p.m. my time. 8 a.m. Los Angeles. New York's 11. That's actually a fair launch. All right, it's not. Crimson Desert killed me. It launched at 10 p.m. and I died. It was absolutely miserable. Or is that not right? Yeah, no, that is right. Yeah, 5 p.m. CST. Yep. Yep. Okay. We're pumped. We're pumped. We are pumped. Like when I saw that news, I was like, "Oh my god." Okay. We now know what our plans are. Okay, we're moving on. Lego Dark Knight. I don't know. It depends on how big that early access is. If it's really small, I might try and do Lego right after it. We'll see. Because it's only early access. It might be like super small.
Batman's most fully realized.
Okay, and here is. Oh, I don't want this one. I thought this was a review. Okay, let's see if we can find a new Lego Batman review. Okay. Wait, why is there only one person that... Let's do... I think it's like this month. We'll do this month. Okay, Luke Stevens. Let's do Luke Stevens. Oh wait, but that's just the latest reveal. Maybe there hasn't been any reviews dropped yet. Okay, but we're gonna watch this for sure because I haven't seen this yet.
What? How did you guys get it in there so fast? That is beautiful. He's got the spikes. Look at that. And he looks so tough. Look at his face. Oh, he looks perfect.
Oh, yeah.
And it looks all scuffed up because he doesn't have the money, too. I love it.
And then, of course, we got...
I cannot believe that. That looks so good. The tail being all jointed like that. Oh, my lord. You guys are magicians. I'm, like, seriously in awe. The great thing about Batman is when you enter it, it's not just a character, it's an entire kind of universe. It's a whole mythology.
Man, the Dark Knight was just such a good movie. Like, it's still just, like, peak cinema. Like, such an incredible movie. That's, like, the only reason I'm really, like, it's such a good movie.
Characters, and it truly feels just like a celebration, which is the best thing you can imagine for a game like this. I've played many, many Lego games. To see our stuff in there just means the world. Whoever I have to thank, like, please, thank you. Thank you so much. It looks fantastic.
Okay, that was nothing. 522, yep. Okay, we actually don't need to see anything from Lego, right? Like, we already know what that's going to be like. Let's check out the new 007.
Stranger to video games. However,
this is IGN. We're done with IGN. IGN, yeah, there we go. Luke Stevens. See what he says.
of 007 First Light and sit down with Andreas Kralk, who is the gameplay director on the game. I asked him a bunch of questions, including many of which I got from you guys, both in the comment section and in chat over on Luke Stevens Live, my live channel, and I found out a lot about the game. This is, of course, the upcoming 007 game coming from IO Interactive, the same developers behind Hitman. And it really is a match made in heaven. Like, I seriously can't think of another studio that would be like more perfectly suited to make a 007 game. It's the Hitman guys making a 007 game. I mean, it's like perfect. it's amazing. But perhaps the most surprising aspect of the game is that when it was originally revealed, it wasn't necessarily the Hitman inspirations that really stuck with people. It was rather that the game seemed to take a lot of learnings from Naughty Dog and specifically
I was gonna
Uncharted.
say,
In fact, one of the
it feels
most
like an
common
Uncharted
ways the
game,
has
right?
been described by people that have seen it so far is that it looks like Uncharted.
No IGN, lol. Okay, sorry. Yeah, we're done with IGN. Like, Crimson Desert Kill. I do not even want to give them the views anymore.
Meets Hitman, which is a combination I never knew I needed, but it was all just based on vibes and impressions based on the trailers because nobody had played the game at that point. That's changed now. I got access to over 3 hours with the game, an early game level in Iceland which set the stage for the story, and then a tutorial section where you learn the ropes of combat and how stealth worked. And then it opened up into a late game chapter with a lot of spoilers that I will obviously not get into, but showcased a lot of cinematic storytelling, a lot of large set pieces, and also an extremely vast level with a ton of gameplay complexity. And they even encouraged us to go back through that late game level multiple times if we were able to within the time frame we had to try out different strategies and experiment with different options. And overall, after that time and after speaking with Andreas about some of the design choices, asking him questions like,
well, one of my favorite games growing up was Splinter Cell. That's why this also gets me excited. And 007 GoldenEye was the first shooter I ever played. Great games.
whether this was something truly unique or if it was just Hitman in a tuxedo, I'm pretty confident that this game is pretty awesome. I do think some people will find it very frustrating for a reason I'll get into a little bit later.
Some people find it frustrating. That's what he said about Crimson Desert. We like this.
But that frustration is precisely why I think so many people are going to absolutely love it. In the same way
good.
a lot of people are frustrated with like Hitman, where things are so open-ended and levels are open to your own exploration and determination for how to best achieve one specific goal. That DNA is still very much in 007 First Light, and that means that people are going to come across their own unique solutions to all of the different challenges they come across while playing the game. But that also means that it's going to be up to the players to find those solutions, meaning if you're looking for a very strict railroad type experience like you might be accustomed to coming off of, say, an Uncharted game, you're probably going to struggle with this one more. Because at its core, it has Hitman DNA within it. This is an IO interactive game, but it truly is Hitman meets Uncharted. You get the cinematic, fidelity, storytelling, and set pieces you would expect from Uncharted, but you get the gameplay complexity of Hitman. In a lot of ways, it's the best of both worlds, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. But before I get into the specifics, I want to disclose something very, very clearly up front. We were not allowed to capture our own footage at the event. We played on PCs. They were beefy PCs. They ran the game phenomenally well. I didn't have any performance issues as far as I can remember. Like no frame drops, no hitching. I didn't have any crashes. It ran very, very well, which is refreshing considering that performance was a big question mark after the initial reveal, which showed a lot of frame drops on console. However, we didn't see it on console, so we don't know how it runs there. And because I don't have my own gameplay footage, I can't demonstrate firsthand to you that it ran well for me. It's just kind of like a trust me, bro. Instead, they provided a lot of B-roll of everything that we played, which is what you'll be seeing throughout this video, but just understand it's not my capture. I did ask them about this directly, why they chose to not let us capture directly, and it was communicated to me that it seemed that it was a logistical issue where they just weren't able to figure out how to do that efficiently, capturing all this footage for people playing the game in every place that they went to. They did previews in like Shanghai and I think London as well, and so they were...
What? That reason makes no sense to me. Like, I bring my own solid state hard drive when I go to Gamescom, so I can literally record everything possible, and they let me hook up into their computers.
spread out really thin, and they said it was a logistical choice. Whether you accept that or not is up to you. I'm just telling you what they told me. What I can say is that the gameplay footage I have does reflect my experience with the game in terms of performance. However, console performance is still a question mark because, again, we played you for sake of spoilers because it's pretty cool. And then the story goes into action right from the outset. This is a 007 origin story through and through. So when you first start playing the game, you are not playing as 007. You are playing as an up-and-coming soldier who's trying to prove his worth in a very difficult situation after a deployment goes very bad. It sets the stage for the high-stakes cinematic story that they're going to tell, and immediately I was taken back by just how beautiful the game was. Like, I don't know how to say it other than I don't think the trailers do this game justice. Like, the trailers look good, don't get me wrong, but in person, playing this in real time on a high refresh rate display, like it just hits different, dude. This is a gorgeous game. The sound design is also fantastic. From the getup, the voice acting is all very, very well done. And across the board, the game just makes a really good first impression. The first level sets the stage with gameplay, with basic traversal and movement, and then a couple of pretty straightforward stealth sequences teaching you the basics of how to move behind cover and get from objective to objective. I'll keep all of this vague, of course, because there's story spoilers here, but overall, it does a good job of introducing the story. It makes sense and it's well executed. The next section of gameplay we got was basically a training level when you're learning.
Can I just say, I really don't like this takedown. Like, I just
cover and get from objective to objective. I'll keep.
So he goes for a takedown like that. If you're trying to be stealthy, this guy's gonna yell out. Like, I don't.
Big, of course, because there's story spoilers here.
Is that like actually how they take people down? I don't know. I don't know. This game better be good. Bond looks young, and I don't know if I could take him seriously yet. Could be wrong. Yeah, he does look young, huh? But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it'd be a lot easier just to go up and put them in a chokehold. I'd like that. That's what I imagine you would do in this situation. Not this weird takedown judo. I don't know.
But overall, it does a good job of introducing the story. It makes sense and it's well executed. The next section of gameplay we got was basically a training level when you're learning how to be an agent in Her Majesty, or I guess it's now His Majesty's service. I'm not used to saying that. That sounds weird.
Anyone from the UK in here? Oh shit. It's kind of funny. I have trouble and I live here, and I feel like every time I accidentally say like, yeah, I'm afraid I'm gonna get just yelled at by the locals.
Because there's a king now, it's His Majesty. I don't know, that's weird. I don't think I'd said His Majesty's service yet until this very moment. So there you go. In America, we don't talk about the king very much. I know it's shocking, but he doesn't come up in casual conversation. Anyway, this is the tutorial section where you'll get your first taste of what more expansive levels will offer. You start the level in the center of a very large rectangle, basically, with a lot of different rooms and traversal paths and a lot of NPCs crowding the rooms. It will be very familiar if you've played Hitman. I mean, it's set up very much like that with many different options and tools at your disposal. And even though this is a really short level, I think the first time I went through it, I was through it in like 10 to 15 minutes. I did try cranking up the difficulty and going through it again with a different route, and bro, this is where I realized what we were doing here. Like, this is one of those games where if you play on the easy setting, you can get into a fist fight with 15 people and you'll be okay, and you can brute force your way through missions even if you're getting discovered. If you play it on hard, you cannot do that. They will kill you. And so it forces you to play super tactically. It forces you to think about your routes and your tools and how to distract this guy to go over there so you can get this guy and do this. It's really, really important which difficulty setting you choose, because the game plays totally differently depending on that difficulty setting. Like, I think this is one of those games some people will play on easy and then be frustrated that the gameplay wasn't that interesting. But if you crank the difficulty up to either the second normal setting or the hard setting, It's like a totally different game. And they obviously know this, which is why they encouraged us to try the final level on the easy difficulty and then go back in with a higher difficulty to experiment with different options and see how things played out differently. The game is also built with a really robust checkpoint and chapter system. So within each of the main sections of the game, like each level, there are different checkpoints as you go through the different story beats. So if you want to replay a level, but just see how you get through this part of the level with a really high difficulty, you can load back into that specific story beat and experience that again with...
I hope there's a lot of achievements to motivate us to do that, because like I always feel like I need something to go into higher difficulty. A new storyline, a new game plus like whole theme. Like the way they did in Armored Core 6 was amazing. I love that. And I hope they're doing something similar here.
A different tack.
Like even if it's just stars, like I get an extra star if I beat it in hard mode. Like that's enough for me.
Or with a different route, which is going to be a godsend, I'm sure, for speedrunners. But it was really cool for me to be able to be like, I wonder if I could get around this guard if I did this. Let me just load back in there and try it. And sure enough, it worked. It's really well done. In this tutorial section, though, you will learn the ropes of both hand-to-hand combat. You'll learn the ropes of shooting and stealthing your way around the environment. And it's very viable. No matter which route you take, they've built it out so that it works. Again, none of this is going to be surprising if you know Hitman. Like, none of it. It's very much Hitman in its DNA, and they've retained a lot of that complexity here. When I interviewed Andreas about the game, I did ask him how they balanced like making just Hitman in a tuxedo versus something fresh and different, and his answers were interesting. I'll just let him talk and explain it.
What type of game is this? Is this just Hitman in a tuxedo, right? And it can sound a little bit like that when I speak about it like this, and obviously we've taken inspiration because we think we've had some good stealth gameplay in Hitman, and those we are carrying over because we think it's pretty good. But then we add all the combat and abilities on top of that, and all the cinematic experience also, as you're talking about here, juggling between back and forth of this, right? Where I think in general one of the key selling points is also that it varies a lot what type of experience you're engaging with, right? Also, I talked about the pacing wise, that okay, sometimes after a narrow segment where you have a big set piece, you need an open space to play a little round in, and then it probably narrows in again a little bit and out again. So it kind of breathes as you're going through the game. So variety is one of our key ways to experience this game too, and with that, I think it's important. There's also like kind of a message we want to get out there, that to consume this as its own game, like play it and start it and expect that this is a Bond game, not a Hitman game necessarily. And again, obviously we've taken some inspirations, and all the mechanics that we knew we thought were good, we've taken them over, right? But I think you should experience it as its own game, and think you're playing a Bond game and go into it.
Let's get to the last mission.
Story at the same time. So they have to make sure that they can tell that story through linear sections that are more rigid, and then also have those moments where things open up and allow the player to have a lot of agency. This final level is a fantastic example of that balance, and I think it demonstrates really cleanly and clearly how they've struck a really good balance with it. This final chapter that we got to experience opens up with James going back through an apartment that has been abandoned for a reason I will not get into. Spoilers, of course. I just don't want to spoil it, so. He's walking through an apartment when all of a sudden he's jumped. This assassin comes at James, but he's able to fight him off. But then he's faced with the challenge of escaping the apartment with his life, while also taking down the other assassin, which is outside with a sniper rifle. This is a linear narrative moment that transitions into a fairly rigid combat sequence, and then goes into another fairly straightforward linear narrative mixed with gameplay beat going after the assassin, and then it fully transitions into an open-ended gameplay sequence, which is totally different. Like, I don't know if this is how your brain works. This is how my brain works. I'm a visual thinker. So like, this is how I would describe the game. And I know to you, this might just look like an intestine that's swelling, but I swear it makes sense in my head. Like,
yeah.
You'll go from these narrow sections that it's not just constant misery or totally different experiences in some of the levels, doing things in a totally different way, which again is exactly what you would hope to see in a game like this. Is that the story, of course, is going to play out similarly for everybody, because those are story beats and everything has to hit the same way. It's a linear story about James Bond. Like, it's going to play out the same for everybody. But when it comes to the gameplay, that's where player agency really kicks in, and I'm glad to say that they've retained the same agency, or at least close to it, that they had with Hitman. But this is why I said some people might find this format a little frustrating. To use the same visual aid, if we take our swollen intestines and we reformat it into the shape of like an Uncharted game, for example, I think it ends up looking much more like this, just much less extreme. And so you do get a little bit of gameplay variety, but for the most part, everybody's going to be going through the path in the same way, and there's much less variability in those moments and experiences. But 007 First Light is designed for you to go to the extremes and try things in a totally different way, and that's when you'll have the most fun, is when you really do try to come up with a wacky solution
Cool.
to something that you're
Cool,
faced
cool,
with.
cool, cool.
Another way of saying
That's
this
good.
is that I think
I'm
if
really
you play
excited about that.
007 First Light as its own game, as a unique package, you will have a lot more fun with it than if you try to brute force it the way you've previously played just Hitman games or the way you've previously played Uncharted games. It really is its own thing, because Hitman might just be this and this. Recognize that he's next to that object, and then he will do a unique combat animation to like curb stomp the guard into the windowsill. Or if you're next to a desk or a billiards table,
He's
he'll
got some
go
cool
and grab
dodge
the
moves
guard
there.
and chuck him across it. You can also pick up objects in the environment and throw them at guards. So if you're standing next to that billiards table or pool table, I'm gonna be honest, I don't play pool or billiards. I don't really know the difference, and I'm not gonna pretend to. All I know is it's green and there's balls on it.
Okay. That's it. That's all I want to watch. I'm done with 007. Okay. It looks okay. Looks okay for me. I think there's something about like my memory of like the old Bond games just being a lot more FPS, a lot more shooter side. And yeah, I don't know. There's something about this that just doesn't look like it's quite hitting what I would like. I don't know. Are you guys interested in 007? I know, Hash, you're saying it looks pretty good. I don't know. I don't know if I want to play it. I really need to try it. But now we got Blood of the Dawnwalker, baby. This is the game I'm most excited for sure. I'm so pumped. I'm really sad. I'm sure you guys are too, that it's launching September 3rd. And then we got Phantom Blade Zero launching September 4th. Back to back, guys. We can't play both of them. What are we going to do? But I need to use the bathroom. So I'm going to be back in just one moment. I'll be right back, guys. And then we'll keep going. So, uno momento. Okay, we're back. All right, so let's jump into Blood of the Dawnwalker, baby. This is it. Okay, I actually don't want to watch the story trailer again. I want to watch the gameplay. This was cool.
Hi, my name is Ariana Sharkiewicz, and I'm one of the writers at Rebel Wolves. Over the past few months, we've shared quite a lot about the game's story. Today, we'll give you a glimpse of the activities our human by day, vampire by night protagonist Cohen can take on while exploring the open world. We start at night in our vampiric form, heading toward a...
Okay, so it looks like as we're climbing, so we're able to climb, we get, it takes stamina to climb, but if you stand still, it doesn't take any stamina. Stamina, use while climbing. 0 when standing.
Vantage point to get a better sense of our surroundings. Reaching a vantage point reveals nearby opportunities and helps us plan our next steps.
Just gorgeous. If you brave these woods, folks say they're chock full of monsters. Village of Malagir. Codrin's family's land. Malagir Monastery. Its best days are long behind it. I don't think I'll find anything else here.
Let's open them up and check nearby points of.
Okay, so real quick, what is this? Let's see what all is in the menu.
Let's open them up and.
Okay, so there is character, inventory, crafting. There's crafting. Did we see anything on crafting? I don't know if we have. Active abilities. What's the difference between active abilities? That's probably the 3 tech trees. I guess we'll see. The court is all of the bad people, all the bad vampires we're trying to kill.
Check nearby points of interest.
On the map. Okay.
Some are tied to Brensis's officers. More on them shortly.
More on
Others
them shortly.
to hidden mysteries, haunted sites, and shrines used for fast travel, which can also serve as quest objectives. Let's mark one and head there.
I think it's so cool, like coming down with your claws as you're going down. That is so cool. Cool way to decline.
Early in the game, we can unlock a perk that allows us to transform into a wolf and move faster at night.
Now, okay, for me, I didn't know that was actual real lore from Dracula, that you could transform into a wolf. I started watching like vampire movies with like Underworld, where like vampires were lycans, vampires and lycans fought each other. So that was kind of interesting. Or you have Twilight, where you got the wolves versus the vampires. I never thought that was combined.
It's quicker,
it's pretty
and
cool.
more agile. Though it
I like
comes
this
with some
mount.
limitations. There's also a daytime equivalent, but more on that later.
What was that? Is someone in trouble?
It looks like we've come across a group in need of help. Whether we intervene is up to us, and both choices can lead to unexpected outcomes. We began with death from above, allowing us to quickly eliminate an unsuspecting enemy and gain the upper hand from the start. We have incorporated community feedback, and now there is no need to open the skill wheel to select a previously assigned ability. Instead,
This combat looks so gritty, so visceral. I love it. I absolutely love it. And as a vampire, you just look so strong compared to the humans, but like in a realistic way. I love it.
we can use quick selection.
It's just brutal how strong we are.
Done for.
So did I, to be fair. I wasn't sure I'd get you out of this in time.
But you did. Bless you. Bless you.
For now, we need to recover. As a vampire, we restore health by feeding. Human blood is most effective, but in this case, we rely on animals. It's less efficient, but it will do. Feeding increases our corruption level.
Okay, feeding increases corruption. This is such a cool tech thing. Like, I'm gonna go around, I'm gonna devour everything. I'm gonna eat the whole forest. Feeding raises corruption. The tech tree for vampiric abilities. I'm pretty sure.
It's shown next to the health bar at the bottom of the screen.
Nice.
The higher the corruption level, the more vampiric perks are unlocked for purchase. Nearby points of interest are marked on the map and indicated on the compass at the top of the screen. Let's head to the shrine. Here's the shrine. Damaged, so we can't use it yet.
Desecrated. Looks like the shrine's missing its heart. But maybe I could restore it. The tracks, they're fresh.
There's a trail nearby. Let's follow it. A group of Brensis's soldiers has set up camp. Let's clear them out.
This is what I'm curious about. Does biting them fill it up?
Voracious Bite allows us to drink
Oh, it
blood
does.
from an unsuspecting enemy and gain
Yes.
the upper hand at the beginning of combat. But we're not able to drain this enemy fully as his comrades quickly come to his aid.
Okay, so I feel like
We use
if you can, you want to try and suck all their blood. Don't hurt them by attacking them. Suck their blood. Maybe that's a theory. Theory might work. Drink all the blood possible. Don't damage other ways. If we're min-maxing.
Stun the weaker opponent, giving us an opportunity to take on his commander. When an enemy blocks and interrupts our attack chain, we can use charge to prevent a counterattack. Voracious Bite can also...
Wait, we can use a charge. Are these charges right here at the bottom? I think so, right? Yeah. Okay, so
Voracious Bite can also be used during...
Wait, I wanna go
stun
back.
the weaker opponent, giving us an opportunity to take on his commander. When an enemy blocks and interrupts our attack chain, we can use charge to prevent...
Yeah, okay, so then that consumed a whole charge. Okay. Charges are used to counter. Okay, so that's the counter system. That's how that works.
Prevent a counterattack.
Yeah, Kesar, Witcher 3 vibes for me here, stylistically. Yes, very much so. And I'm all for it. Super excited.
Voracious Bite can also be used during combat as an active perk, allowing us to regenerate some health.
It's like you just chopped off his leg so easily. Oh god, I'm so happy our world does not have real vampires in it. At least these kind of vampires.
Hope word of this reaches your master.
With the camp destroyed, our infamy increases. More about this in a moment. Let's collect our loot. We found the shrine's missing heart, along with a manual that unlocks a new perk.
Okay, what did we get here? Okay, so Shrine's Heart.
We found the shrine.
Precision Manual unlocks a new perk. Okay.
Missing heart, along with a manual.
Wait, I missed this one.
Collect our loot. We found the shrine's missing heart.
Plus 15% maximum human health. Okay, so this is just consumable. Temporarily increases maximum health. Okay.
Along with a manual that unlocks a new
Stamina regeneration, sweet and refreshing for 30 seconds. Okay.
perk. Precision. Let's open our inventory and head to the recipes tab.
Okay, let's slow this part down. What are all the goodies we got here? What are all the goodies we got here?
Let's open our...
Okay, so precision manual, yeah. So here is the sword. So we've got a level for the swords. It's got an attack speed, probably this range of those. It's got a damage range, DPS. So it's got a DPS, so we don't have to do the math on that. It's got some perks inherently, so it's like a minus 5% dodge, stamina cost, activation, charge, restoration from attack. Okay. It's got a weight system. Do we have a total weight? Yeah, we do. 83 out of 300. Okay, so we can... Old school weight. That's something that we didn't have in Crimson Desert, right? We had like infinite storage. We could carry everything. No weight. I kind of like having weight. It makes it feel more realistic. What do you guys think? Do you like it when there's a weight limit in inventory, or is that annoying? Okay, so we got some epic medium trousers. I wonder what the medium refers to, but level 9 it comes with armor, 11% activation charge restoration from a perfect block. Okay, so cool. Minus 9% dodge stamina cost. So there's dodge. Dodging takes up stamina. 5% damage versus mortal enemies. Okay. There's a weapon crit chance. Passive activation charge restoration. Okay, cool. Okay, interesting. And it's saying that our stats would be lowered by 10% right here. Weight annoys you? Yeah, Kesar. Yeah, you pick up everything, huh? You pick up spoons and plates and everything. All right, so with the sunlight, the spirit daylight amulet, 9% human health. Okay, so that only works for the human health. Stay in the sun. Okay, a vial of human blood, 60% heal in the. How do we say it? Verkili? Verkili? I know they say it later. I need to listen and learn to that. Wow, that seems very expensive. We got big numbers here. 14,000. And we only have 705 in this case. So these must be really expensive, but we have 825 of them. Interesting. During the day, nothing special. At night, it smells like a treat. Okay. All right, there we go. A precise cut, part 1. The thing that sets a skilled fencer apart from the rest of the precision of their strikes. Anyone can take a sword in their hand and flail it around, hoping to hit their opponent. There is a common tale that an untrained peasant, if given a proper blade, could prove more dangerous than an experienced soldier because his moves would be unpredictable, which is plainly speaking a lie. A man who knows how to use a weapon, his enemy's openings, blah, 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 that one will come out top. Okay, nothing special.
A new
Okay.
perk
Speed back up to regular.
Precision. Once we read it, it becomes available in the character tab.
Kesar, so does stuff wearing out or in breaking or needing repair all annoying? Yeah? I think that if it's an MMO where that becomes part of the economy, that's when it's enjoyable. But on single player games, those can get pretty annoying. Especially like if you have a really rare special weapon, you feel like it should be unbreakable.
Let's go there. The exclamation mark indicates.
Okay, whoa. We gotta slow down again.
Tap. Let's go there.
And here's a yellow padded tunic, 70 armor, 12% stamina, 4% claws damage. Okay, so there's gonna be you're gonna have armor sets for, and there is presets. Look at that. They have 2 presets. Probably one for day, one for night. Okay, that's good. I really like that. I really like that. Presets for day and night. Good. Back.
Becomes available in the character tab. Let's go there.
Okay, so this is character tab. So there's sword mastery, witchcraft, and vampiricism. Okay, so this is the abilities. So all the abilities you have unlocked, you put them on this ring. I'm guessing that's what you use. Okay. Witchcraft mastery. Witchcraft abilities deal more damage, 15% damage. I also want to have real magic again. I think Crimson Desert was a little bit weak on the magic. Do you like magic, Kesar? What do you think? Deals additional damage on witchcraft ability use, 50% chance. 25% damage will be the increase here. It takes 1 star. Okay, I'm guessing that's skill points. Okay, so we have 2 of those right now, and then it takes 1 amount of time to go through.
The exclamation.
Nope. Endless effort. Okay, so this increases stamina. Okay.
Exclamation mark.
Stinging blade. 5% sword damage. Okay, so that just increases damage. Okay. Fate's Favor, critical chance hits. And these are all linear up until this one right here. This is a big step. Oh, but it costs 2. So is that worth it? So real quick, just to see, this will be 4, and this jumps up a lot. Oh my gosh, this jumps up like 13 for 2. So that is really worth to hit that 4th point. All right, precision. Deal more damage with directional attacks when directions don't repeat. Okay, so you gotta like go back, forth, up, down. Okay. Interesting.
A new perk is available, but we can't.
Oh, here, one sec. Okay, back. And so they can only be acquired at a shrine.
Can't purchase it yet. Perks can only be acquired at a shrine by spending experience points.
I think that's gonna be kind of annoying that you have to go all the way to a shrine to activate your perk. What do you guys think?
By completing objectives. And since we've just finished one, we should be good to.
In KSR, it depends on the game. For Magic, I'm fine with CD because they built in other avenues to power fantasy. True, they did a good job of that. Like the spirit is a really cool thing. I was just playing around with it again, and then going to Unka, I really don't think he uses spirit enough. It's kind of interesting because now, when I was playing Cliff, I was super spirit heavy. And with my Unka build, it's super stamina heavy, is what I'm finding. So it's kind of like a different trade-off. Kind of cool.
Go.
And I'm about to start playing Damien after this, probably tomorrow morning is what I'll do. I'll do Damien next.
We've also found the shrine's missing heart, so we can now fix it. Let's head back.
You're welcome.
With the heart restored, the shrine is rebuilt. We can now use it. Let's start with the perks menu. In the sort.
And did you see there's a storage in the at the shrines? Storage at shrines.
Master abilities. We find precision now available for purchase. As you can see, it costs both experience points and a time segment, indicated by
Time
the
segment is how she describes it.
Let's learn it. Now let's take a look at the Vrakiri perks. With our corruption level increased and another experience point available, we can unlock new abilities, again marked with an exclamation.
Whoa, I'm like missing all this. I'm just getting sucked in again. There's a lot that she went over.
Segment, indicated by the hourglass icon. Let's learn it.
I still haven't played much Unka or Damien yet. It was pretty much my first thing going into it today. I was like, all right, let's really dive into Unka. And I was like, whoa, okay, so he's different in quite a few ways. And yeah, pretty interesting. And I have all the stuff unlocked too. If you don't have the jetpack unlocked, like I would not waste your time on him. Damien, at least she has some movement abilities, but yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Now.
Okay, let's slow this down just a wee bit so I can make sure I get it. Okay, so decrease plane shift stamina cost, okay? So the first one's 45%. You definitely want to hit that first one, and then you kind of want to slow down because this is no longer as efficient, and then even less so for this one, right? No, the second one's not as much. Oh, yeah, but it costs 2 more. So this you kind of don't want to mess with. Oh, and it doesn't unlock until you get to this level, I'm assuming. So you can't even unlock it even if you wanted to. But maybe plane shift is really important. Okay, so for vampiric stuff, you need level and skill points.
Let's take a look at the
Okay, grants buffs from drinking animal blood. Oh, okay. So if you decide to go wild blood, you want to do a playthrough where you don't kill any humans. That's pretty cool. It'll give you an activation charge restoration of plus 15%. Okay, 30%. One filled activation at the start of combat. Okay, that's pretty cool. And what's this one? Crimson Feast. Grants buffs from drinking human blood. Okay, so there's the human side. All right, gives you 20% attack damage, 15% armor. Drinking blood gives you armor. Okay, it makes our skin thick. And then critical hit chance. Okay, that's cool. Oopsies. Okay, vampiric ability slots. Ooh, okay, so at the beginning we only start off with a couple skill slots. Start small. Build up. Okay, that's interesting. I was really sad they didn't have a build to play at Gamescom last year. Really sad. I wanted to try it. Wait, I want to see how that actually scales. Oh no. Oopsies.
With our
Okay, lasting blood. Vampiric abilities cost less health. Oh, okay, so vampiric abilities cost health. Let's make sure we write that down. Abilities cost health.
with our
Wait, what? I pressed the wrong button. Shit.
experience glass icon. Let's learn it. Take a look at the Vrakiri.
Okay. There we go. So slots. So it's 1, and then it costs 2 to unlock the 4th slot. Interesting. Okay.
With our corrupt
Endless Ferocity reduces cooldowns and vampiric abilities. 30% cooldowns. That's pretty big. And then 10% cooldowns on critical hits. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Okay, so there might be like a crit build. Crit build for endless cooldowns. I'm already seeing like this guy who can just phase shift around, just like teleports, teleports. Ah, that'd be really cool.
level increased and
What was that one? Okay, less health.
and
Okay, hastened corruption. Ooh, the corruption fills faster. That seems like a really important one to buy early. Corruption fills faster. That is hastened corruption. Important to level faster. Okay, and let's just see what this... So it costs 1 for that, 30%, nice. Drink blood at full health to overfeed. Ooh. Temporary health segment and plus 50% corruption filling speed when overfed. Okay, yep, that was... I actually was hoping that was a thing. Getting overfed. So then if you take no damage and you feed, you're getting even bonus corruption. This is huge. Getting overfed after skill can boost corruption faster.
another experience.
Oh, and I almost missed this one. And then the last one's plus 50% corruption, 5% vampiric health for each corruption level. That could be crazy. I think we saw some that was like, you need to be level 16 for this. So that'd be easily over 160%, 130%. No, I can't do math. Like 100, like 60 to 70% health.
Experience point available.
Okay, increases vampiric health regeneration. Okay. And then +2 health segments at night start. Okay.
We can unlock.
Boop, 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 boop. I'm liking these skills. These are pretty cool skills. I can feel it being pretty interesting here. Oh, we don't get to see the Mandrake Ward. It doesn't show. Okay.
We can unlock.
And then here's the crit rate one. Okay, so you get a 10% chance at stat 1, a bonus 15% chance at stat 2, and then a 200% crit damage boost. Okay. That's still only like a 25% chance here. I wonder if there's other ways we can boost our critical hit chance. Dancing Claws increases critical chance with each attack. Ah, so you have a scaling crit with this also. This is interesting. Resets after receiving damage or after a critical hit. 4% crit claw per attack up to 40%. So you have the 40% plus the 25, we're at 65%. That could be pretty interesting. That could be pretty interesting.
Abilities.
Okay, Scarlet Shield, health regeneration after a block or perfect block. Okay. Oh, okay. So if you do a perfect block, you automatically restore 5% health. If you do just a directional block and it's not perfect, you get a 20%. And if it's an omni block, you only get 10%. I'm assuming omni block is just you block in one direction and it covers all of your area, and then the directional is more perfect. I don't know. I know there's other games like this that I haven't played before that take that kind of setup. And then you can restore 7%. And then the higher percentages or 10%. Okay, that's kind of cool.
Again marked with
Shred. Bleed chance on your attack. 20% bleed chance. 25% plus 25% bleed damage. Ooh, okay, so there's a lot of ways you can make people bleed. Now, if you're trying to maximize your corruption level gains, you don't want people to bleed. Maybe this could be for late game that you want to start making people bleed. Oh, and it does if you can get up to this one, that's pretty crazy. 287 damage on a bleed. I think that, like, we were looking at those swords, and what were they at? Like 70 to 90 damage. So that's like a 4x damage. Boom. And then it does the bleed too. Shapeshift. Shapeshift into a wolf and gain haste in exploration. Gain haste. Haste costs 50% less stamina. Haste is 20% faster. Okay, so that's all your wolf form.
Exclamation point.
Shred. Your base chance on your attack. 20% bleed chance. 25% bleed. Oh yeah, we already did this one.
The corruption.
Mesmerize. Mind control a target and force him to fight on your side? That's cool. It takes 3 charges and 24% of your health. Oh my god. The duration lasts 20 seconds. It does 25% to target's damage duration, 30 seconds. 50% to target. I don't know what that means. Does that mean that we're increasing our units' damage? Oh, but it's also increasing the duration substantially. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I like that ability. And you could probably go up and just suck on their blood after you mind control them. Piercing Shriek. Wow, they just gave like so many of the skills away right here. I love this. Love this. Stuns all enemies in front of you. Oh, that's the Shriek. Weakens their defense and attack damage. Stun duration 2 seconds. 15% damage to targets and 15% damage by the targets. Block Targets health regeneration. Ooh, this is huge. Huge, 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 huge. Piercing shriek will be important. Piercing shriek will be important. Anti-vampire bite. So I'm sure they'll be able to heal, and if you do that, then you can stop them from healing. Okay, restless claws. Decrease stamina cost of... Oh, okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna need this. And refunds 100% of stamina spent on attack if it's been blocked. That's pretty cool.
Purchase a perk is indicated in the tooltip on the right side of the screen. Let's purchase one.
Okay, let's go back to full speed.
Time passes as we acquire new perks. The night comes to an end, the sun rises, and a new day begins. Along with a new edict. Edicts are tied to the
infamy. Okay, so this is the infamy system. Okay.
infamy system we mentioned earlier. Several have already been proclaimed since the start of our journey. The higher our infamy, the harsher the edicts, and the more challenging the world becomes. It's a sign that Brensis is vigilant and reacts to our actions in Vale Sangora. Infamy reflects how much we disrupt the operations of Brensis' followers. Let's take a closer look at one of his officers, Ambrose. In the right corner of the screen, we can see his level of aggression towards us. When it reaches its peak, a new questline is unlocked, influencing the story and shaping our future confrontation with Brensis. As you can see, multiple open-world activities are tied to Ambrose, all connected to his operations. Let's go back to the map to mark one of them, and then let's head there.
Pretty cool. And so this is something I'm really curious about. It says stop the transport. Does that mean that we have 3 time segments left? Or if we do that, it will consume three time segments. I think it'll consume. Doing a quest that consumes the time segment. I love the time element of this game. Like, that's one of my favorite elements. I love that in games. Like, if you ever play Pikmin, I know that's an old, like, it's a Nintendo game, but I loved it. It's such a good game.
We've arrived near
Games.
one of
There's 4 of
Ambrose's
them.
warehouses, storing blood supplies.
Killed. Go back where you came from. I don't time to restore the order.
Charge is an ability shared between human and vampire forms. This enemy was weak enough to stun them with it.
Okay, there's also some interesting things I want to break down about this fight. I'm realizing is if you dodge, so he dodges left. If you dodge left, it breaks their stance. Okay. Directional dodge breaks defense. I'm assuming does significant bonus damage.
Charge is an ability shared between human and vampire forms.
Okay.
This enemy was weak enough to stun them with it.
Yeah, it does a lot of bonus damage. Okay. Directional dodge or perfect blocks. Now, also, I want to go back. The way that he blocked that. How did... Nope, one more. So, how did he... Okay, so he blocked right, then slashed left. Because it showed that it also has a red arrow of which direction you need to slash to. So I think you also need to directional dodge and attack. And was that the same with the other guy?
Charge is an ability shared between human and vampire forms. This enemy was weak enough to stun them with it.
Yeah, and sometimes it's the same direction. Okay.
The Rakiri store blood in places like this.
Rakiri.
Ambrose is responsible for keeping it safe. Oh, but we're not going to make his job any easier. Another group
I like her voice acting. She's fun. Okay, so that was it. Up directional block.
We open with broad swing to weaken as many opponents as possible. Then follow up with Burning Blood, which briefly staggers the enemy and applies a damage over time effect.
What do we have here?
The prisoner's fate is grim.
Real quick, I wanna check this out.
Swing to weaken as many opponents as possible.
So they all have
Then follow up with
timers.
Burning Blood, which briefly staggers the enemy and applies a damage over time effect.
What do we have here?
The prisoner's fate is grim. Their blood is drained, then stored in places like this, where it awaits distribution to Brensis and his officers.
Now, why would we do that? Why collect the blood? Collect it. What's wrong with you?
Nice. Hitting him where it hurts.
Okay, and then it just jumped 3 time segments. Yep, so that's definitely the situation.
With the supplies destroyed, our infamy rises again. We've disrupted Ambrose's operations enough for now. Let's move on to another point of interest, a haunted site. Earlier we showed you how we can move faster at night by transforming into a wolf. To increase our speed during the day, we can unlock a hex called Mercurial Fervor. Haunted sites are only accessible during the day, as they require blood magic, unavailable in vampiric form. Completing them strengthens our magical abilities, but also puts our combat skills to the test.
The spirits here are restless. Perhaps I could help them somehow.
All of the enemies are nicely grouped together. It's a perfect opportunity to use Ravenous Flock, a perk that damages opponents in an area twice. First in activation, and then in the follow-up attack.
Okay, I'm really starting to feel like I already have a good understanding of the combat.
The enemies are defeated, so let's collect our loot. These haunted sites may reward us with ancient texts.
Ooh, blood drinking restoration. Activation, charge, restoration from block. Yep. Okay. 136 armor. That's a lot of armor. Level 21.
Allowing Cohen to become an even more powerful wielder of magic. And that's just a brief
Oh, we don't get to
look
see
at
the
world activities. Many more await,
magic tech tree.
often tying back to the main objective and opening up new storylines along the way.
It's looking pretty good. I am really excited for that. I think we got a lot of stuff to see there. That is cool. That is cool. All right, team. Well, I think that's all I'm doing for today. I was just kind of going over that. We're going to drop a video on Unka, a nice little ultimate guide on his stuff. He's got some pretty cool abilities. I was using, it's unstoppable. Unka can be unstoppable. That's the build I'm calling it. And then we'll do work on Damien next, and then we're also going to crank out a frame by frame. Pretty much just edit this video so that we show all of the cool stuff that's coming to Blood of the Dawnwalker, which is gonna be super cool. I'm gonna drop probably a video on Subnautica, and I'm gonna start playing some Subnautica pretty quickly here too. So that is the goal in the short term. And yeah, we're just kind of getting ready for the launch of Subnautica 2. So thanks for joining. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. I'll be back tomorrow morning, and I'll just be playing Crimson Desert, playing as Damien, trying to crank her out, and then yeah, that's the plan. So we're back on the grind. All right, we're gonna be constant though. All right, we're ready to go. Hopefully we can push till late June, early July when my sister has a baby, and we're gonna be good to go. But that's all I got. I hope you guys had a great day. See you guys next time at Caveman. Locking off.